And tonight we're tracking the latest strikes, the high-stakes diplomacy underway, and what this rapidly evolving situation means for the region and for the world. We go now live to our Washington correspondent, Mari Otsu, standing by at the North Lawn of the White House. Mari, good evening.
Hey, Steve, good evening. Yeah, President Trump is saying that the U.S. is, quote, decimating the Iranian regime, and he's saying that the U.S. has, quote, virtually unlimited stockpiles, high-end munition stockpiles stored in different countries around the globe. That's as President Trump is also saying that he made this decision to strike the regime because if he hadn't, Iran would have struck us first. And Secretary of State Marco Rubio today doubling down on his warning, saying that the hardest hits are yet to come from the U.S. military. Take a look.
We're going to unleash Chang on these people in the next few hours and days. You're going to really begin to perceive a change in the scope and in the intensity of these attacks as, frankly, the two most powerful air forces in the world take apart this terroristic regime.
They have no Navy. It's been knocked out. They have no Air Force. It's been knocked out. They have no air detection. That's been knocked out. Their radar has been knocked out. And just about everything's been knocked out.
Vowing military escalation, President Trump says the Iranian regime had been about to attack Israel and its neighbors, and Operation Epic Fury preempted that action.
You see, we were having negotiations with these lunatics, and it was my opinion that they were going to attack first. They were going to attack. If we didn't do it, they were going to attack first. I felt strongly about that.
Meanwhile, President Trump condemning what he calls the radicals in the Democratic Party for, quote, complaining bitterly about the U.S. strikes in Iran.
History teaches us a simple lesson. Wars without a clear objective do not stay small. They get bigger, they get bloodier, they get longer, they get more expensive. This is not a defensive war. This is not a necessary war. This is a war of choice.
The bottom line is this. The president determined we were not going to get hit first. It's that simple, guys. We are not going to put Americans' troops in harm's way.
Guys like Schumer would say, well, you should have done this. In other words, if I did it, it's no good. If I didn't do it, they would have said the opposite, that you should have done this.
But President Trump also says there's nothing surprising about this, as it's the same lawmakers who wouldn't stand for guests at his State of the Union address. The president mentioning the mother of 23-year-old Irina Zarutska, the Ukrainian refugee who was fatally stabbed last August.
But most people feel, I'll tell you what, I have never had more compliments on something I did. People felt it's something that had to be done.
As I said in Germany the last 2 days, we are supporting the United States and Israel to get rid of this terrible terrorist regime.
President Trump praising Germany for letting U.S. forces land in its bases while criticizing the U.K. and Spain for doing the opposite. That's as he's ordering the U.S. government to offer insurance to protect ships carrying oil through the Persian Gulf so companies aren't scared off by attack risks. The president says the U.S. will ensure the free flow of energy to the world, even if that means the U.S. Navy escorting tankers through the Strait of Hormuz.
So if we have a little high oil prices for a little while, but as soon as this ends, those prices are going to drop, I believe, lower than even before.
And Steve, meanwhile, President Trump is also threatening to cut off all trade with Spain after the NATO and European ally refused to let the U.S. military use its bases for Operation Epic Fury. Back to you.
NTD's Mari Otsu reporting live from the White House. Thank you, Mari.